Is there something that will make my life as a rabbi easier on AI? What tools can you recommend, if any?
You've mentioned them. I mean, the frontier models are evolving all the time. And at the moment, at the top of mind is, Claude, OpenAI. I mean, it depends what you're using it for. I use all sorts of solutions, but for different things. So it depends what you're trying to achieve with it.
Okay. So take us through now a little bit for the young people that are coming into the workforce with the AI revolution. How do they approach it? Where should they be going? And is it making a massive impact? You put yourself into that kind of position. What kind of advice can you give?
Yeah, so there's two big pieces of advice that I'd give people if you're trying to land a role, because there's fewer of them and there's more application. So let's go into the role application and let's go into how you prepare yourself to give yourself a better chance to get the job. In terms of the role application, what's happening at the moment is there's a vicious circle, which is all the people applying for jobs are using AI to write their CVs and their application letters. And some are even using AI systems to just put the applications in. The problem that creates is the companies can't cope. So they're then using AI to solve it.
It's an AI tennis match.
It's an AI tennis match.
And the AI knows because AI obviously knows what's happened.
It's getting worse and worse. And one person who really inspired me about how they overcame this challenge was my middle son, who made Aliyah February of last year and has landed a great role. And what he did is what I would advise people to do. What he did is he basically listed down in Israel the companies he wanted to. And basically he started hounding the people individually and insisted to meet and started to build personal relationships.
Give him a cold call, you mean?
Call, meet me for coffee. And eventually he got the breakthrough because the company that he wanted, somebody there had met him, they gave a reference. So he was, it helped him stand out. But I think now you've got to cut that vicious circle.
Yeah.
You've got to find the opportunities that you want and get in front of people.
By the way, that reminds me of the good old days.
Yeah,
That's how we did it. That's how we did it.
Break through it. Break through that vicious circle, because you're not going to win there. It just becomes a lottery because everybody's looking the same. So that's where we are today. The next thing is ask yourself, am I an AI ninja? And what I mean by that is I was mentoring someone the other day and I said, your AI skills are just not good enough. And they go, well, I use ChatGPT at university. And I go, that's the equivalent of, let's say, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, applying for a job and saying, I can Google and I can use Google. If you're not spending time experimenting with the models, becoming an AI ninja, which you can through experimentation.
Give us, what does that mean to experiment? Which models? So now I'm not an AI, I don't really understand.
So you start to become fluent, and the people who are going to win is not necessarily roles are going to be replaced by AI. They're going to be replaced by the person who knows how to use AI better.
Right.
AI well, because they're going to be so much more productive, so much smarter.
But what's the key of the AI? It's a prompt.
It's more than a prompt. I'll give you so many examples. It's how do you build agents? How do you get agents to build agents? There's so much, and you can become AI, and maybe it's the wrong word. It sounds a bit wonky, AI ninja. But the point is that you can you're so fluent with what's going on. And I think that requires two things. One, continuous experimentation.
Yes.
And find solutions you can solve that will teach you how to use it. I don't know. Your parents have a smart home. Build an agent that allows them to control the smart home from WhatsApp. It's doable. You will go through a process. You will vibe code. You will eventually figure out. Take you a couple of days. You will learn a whole bunch of skills. Your mother does shopping. She's looking for something. Build an agent to search the internet to find her what she's looking for at the price she's willing to pay. You could do it yourself. You don't need an agent. The point is, it's going through that exercise will teach you AI skills because you learn by doing. And the other thing you need to do is build a feed that will tell you how things are evolving. An information feed, whether it's podcasts, news articles, etc. Figure out what's going on so you know what's going on and say, this model has just come out, this capability has just come out. Oh, Claude can now build Excel spreadsheets. I want a job with Goldman Sachs. I better figure out how to use Claude to build an Excel spreadsheet before I go and talk to Goldman Sachs. Do you see what I'm saying?
Be aware of the current affairs and inventions and the models are
because
evolving.
it's moving so fast. And is that expected of you or not? Maybe. The point being, when you go and you say, oh, I've just done... So imagine, let's put the two together. Imagine you've now broken through. You've built a relationship. You've managed to get a face-to-face interview, which is already something, with company X. You've then gone the extra mile, which you've pulled together a presentation relevant to the role you're trying to do about your understanding of the company and potentially how this role can add value. You weren't asked to do it, but you took the initiative to do it to differentiate yourself. Somebody looks at that and he sees a well-formatted document, well thought through, and they go, how did you do this? You go, well, I used this that gave me the information on this. I then got Claude to help me build the cost-benefit analysis. I then sourced information from here and I did a deep research using Gemini, but I double-tested it for hallucinations using Perplexity. I can go on and on, but the point, they'll look at that and they go, okay, AI Ninja, initiative, broke through, I like it.
Yeah.
That's the kind of stuff that you have to do today to break through.
I love it. Excellent advice, because it sets you apart from the crowd. That's fantastic. Okay, good. A lot to think about. We've got a lot to think about. I'm going to ask you a few questions. We call it rapid fire. What's the biggest AI myth?
I think that everything is going to be terrible. I think humans, when there's a lot of uncertainty, tend to catastrophize. We don't know where it's going to be. And actually, when you look at history, when you've had big technological revolutions, a lot of good has come out from it. So, but at the moment, this uncertainty is driving a lot of catastrophization, if that's the right English word for it. I'm not sure that's fair.
Get rid of the doubt. Doubt is the worst thing. Open AI or open source?
I don't have a view either way, sorry.
Okay. Best AI tool to use every day, we've discussed.
Yeah, it varies. Okay, so, sorry, without boring people, we're at the very early days. You talk to most people, they're playing around with Claude. Just put things into context. They're driving a Ferrari, paying Skoda prices.
Right.
That's not going to last. So what's happening at the moment, Claude is launching a new model, everybody's playing around with it. It's cheap, right? And they're getting it often to do, they're killing a bird with a mockingbird with the cannon. So one skill back to Ninja, and we're not there yet, but it's a skill we're all going to have to develop, is learning which model to use for what. At the moment, we're using the latest frontier models to solve all the problems we want, whether it's which duvet I should buy from John Lewis, to build me this complicated model that helps me evaluate this infrastructure investment. That's not going to last. That's not going to last. So everyone at the moment,
split. You're going to see it
you're
split
going to have
into
to become
different.
good at saying, I'm going to use this model for this,
Right.
this model for this model for that, because for
It's
example,
already happening. I think people are talking about making the agents on
55
Claude and
I did the
ChatGPT
analysis
for
the other day. I think it's like a 55x price difference per token between, say, DeepSeek for free and Claude latest model, right? So at the moment, everybody's deciding which duvet to buy using Claude latest model. That's not going to last long, because there's a lot of investors, you may call them smart, you may call them stupid, who are willing to throw so much money at this and fund the losses to allow us to drive Ferraris paying Skoda prices.
Why are they doing that?
Because
they're obviously going to monetize it soon.
It's a hype, and at the moment valuations are absolutely stratospheric.
But why would you put in million, 10 million, 5 million into a company that's not making money unless you really think that now they're going to get, I don't know, 1 billion customers? I don't really know how many people are actually using it, and then charge each one. And
it's the way of the tech world. You know, Uber was subsidized, Deliveroo was subsidized. But not as much. But then it didn't attract as much capital, right? The amount of capital going into this is just stratospheric. So we will see a correction. We're already seeing shortages in compute. So these price differentiation, price increases, they're all coming. They're all coming, and our ability to be much more discriminating as to which model we use for what is going to become very important over the coming months.
Okay. And how long does it take to, if I wanted a specific project to build an agent specifically for myself, not knowing anything about AI, is it possible? How long does it take to do?
It depends how complicated it is. But I'll give you an example. I built an agent 2 days ago to go and look at all of my expenses, put them on a spreadsheet, categorize them. So there were expenses in shekel, sterling, and dollar. Categorize them, put the exchange rate of that day, work out the sterling cost, and then send an invoice to whoever's got to pay them. I built an agent to do that. I turned it into a skill so it can just replicate and do it every month. I would say that took me an hour.
That's because you know coding, or because you know this, or if I just know how to write to prompt it?
I know how to prompt, but again, here's a hack, and we're getting into detail.
Yeah, let's...
Models have evolved. In the old days, in the early days, we had to be very specific, prescriptive in telling the model what we want done. Models have got really smart. So actually now the secret is give the model a lot of context as to what problem you're trying to solve and why, and then get it to suggest the prompt that you should use to prompt it. So don't self-prompt. Explain to the model what you're trying to achieve.
This is the context. How would you prompt yourself?
Exactly. Therefore, given this is what I'm trying to do, how would you prompt yourself to do it and go a step further and say, and what are the strengths and weaknesses of this prompt? If I use this prompt, what would you get right? What would you get wrong? You refine it again.
That's the A star.
Right? And then you get the A star.
Yeah.
So I never write my own prompt.
What a hack. Chazaku Baruch.
Yeah.
So I see that also when I'm doing ChatGPT, when I'm putting something complicated, it shows me what it's it rewords it. You know, sometimes it rewords it. So that's also how to look at it.
But I built here's an agent I built that you'd appreciate. Here's an agent I built, and I'd embarrassed to say that I haven't looked at it today, because if you ask me what it said today, I won't be able to answer. I should have done. But I went the other day to the ceremony where, I forgot which family it was, but they did the late chief rabbi who did the...
Yes, Lord Jacobovitz, or you're talking about Lord Sachs?
Lord Sachs.
Yes.
And I've always found Lord Sachs's writing really, really interesting.
Fascinating.
So I built an agent that basically, I said to him, go and read all of Lord Sachs's material, and every morning, give me a wise thought. That did not take me long.
But how do you verify that it's giving you the correct information? I'll tell you from my own personal... So I write every week a parasha sheet for 15 years. B'li Ayin Hara goes to all the synagogues. It's in the Jewish Weekly newspaper as well. So I decided to, I'll upload. Here's a few divrei Torah of Rabbi Jonathan Tawil. Write a similar thing, or make it better, etc. But then the style wasn't the same style. So I prompted it backwards and forwards until I got something nice, but it still wasn't, it didn't have that feeling. So, and then sometimes it quotes like from the Torah, but it's not exact, or from a rabbi. And then I say, okay, show me where it's from. Oh, you're right. This isn't exactly from the actual rabbi. This is from a website that says it's from the rabbi, but I can't verify. So there is still this, we're there like 80%, but it's not like I can...
So in this agent, I asked for it in the quote to basically say... Now, it could still hallucinate. What did he say? In which book?
It's like a child. You got to be exact.
But to be honest with you, I find sometimes Rabbi Sachs's words, when I read them, I actually don't fully understand them. Right. So then I said to the agent, and then put it in simple English for me. Right.
Okay, very good.
Now, whether it hallucinates or not...
It's very wise. Definitely.
It doesn't matter. But so long as the insight is a good one, it's I don't care. Right?
It's true.
But you can check hallucination. So here's another hack. So if you're doing, let's say, deep research, and sometimes the models, they speak to you as if they know the answer, but it's wrong. They'll say, in 1978, this and this happened. And it didn't. That happens. Less so now, but it does happen. So the hack is, if you're doing a piece of deep research that's really important, take that deep research and give it to another model and say, check it for hallucinations. So the other model will say, go through all the facts and check every single fact for hallucination. And if it has hallucinated, another model may pick it up.
Excellent. Wow. You've given us 3 or 4 top hacks. Finally, one prediction for 2030.
One prediction for 2030. Well, as we're going on the AI theme, the agent economy will be just enormous. So there will be this whole side economy of agents transacting with agents, dealing with agents. We will facilitate it with either they will use, cryptocurrencies, stable coins probably, but there will be an enormous agent economy rating on your behalf.
Will that make my life better or not?
I don't know, Neil.
Because this is what I'm saying. This is the ping pong between the agent to the agents, like the ChatGPT to the ChatGPT, kind of like the interviewer to the interview.
It will free up your time.
It's like once everyone's on this system. So right now, I want to get the cheapest flight to New York, and I say check it out, and get me the best hotel in Manhattan and check it out, and I want it to be current and find it for me and then book it. But they're going to be. It's all going to be, monetized, obviously. So the companies are going to say to the agents, okay, like you have when you go to booking.com, you have the higher ones that have been paid, etc. So how does it make my life better? If it does, or it just makes it more complicated, less employees, cheaper.
You personally may find you have more time, or the services will improve. The answer is time will tell, but it's definitely going to happen, and it'll probably free up your time, and it'll also mean that some of the experiences that you have, or you'll be able to experience more, or execute certain things better, in particular things that don't often do, right? So if you have to do something for the first time, like you decide to make a trip to the Philippines and you've never been, and you want it completely analyzed with different options traded against, and the logistics worked out, and different holiday options, etc. Today, your ability to get that answer and make those trade-offs will happen much, much faster than the way we would do it today, which is a much more complicated process or requires a travel agent.
But you're putting your faith into them, basically, at the end of the day, that what they're saying is that's the give and take.
Yeah, I wouldn't surprise that you have a world where you go to an eBay-like platform to basically access an agent that does X. Mm-hmm. So I'll give you an example. I'm into cycling, very much into cycling. I wouldn't be surprised that there'll be a platform where I can go in and go, do you want an agent to be your cycling coach in order to prepare for this event? It will interface with all the information sources that you have, power meter, heart rate monitor, mileometer, mileage, and it will help you, get to this event, and it will guide you. Those things will exist.
It's exciting. It's frightening. It's the future. We have to stand strong and enjoy. And it's amazing that you said that it will free up time, because humanity is always searching for ways to free up time. The question is, what are they going to do with the extra time? That's the most important thing, because sometimes we chase and chase and chase. And as Kane said, in the long term, we're not around. But if you look back, I studied in LSE, and one of the things that we learned when we were learning is like, you look back 100 years ago, and Keynes was saying, okay, you're going to have in X amount of years, you're going to have so many days off, and it's going to be so much better, and this and the other. But nevertheless, we have so much more time, but we're so excited about the future that we're using that time to find out what else is going to happen. So sometimes it's also good to take a bit of a stop. That's also why we got the Shabbat, Baruch Hashem, and enjoy that time that we're going to create.
Even if you don't do nothing. I mean, it's interesting, whether it's the secret of Shabbat, but
in the park,
I was talking to somebody who deals with a lot of business people who are stressed and all of that. They're not Jewish, nothing to do with Jews. And then I was having a drink with them. And I was saying, what do you prescribe? And they go, often the art of shutting off and doing nothing. Now, Jews have had this figured out for a long time with Shabbat, but most people haven't, especially in the digital world.
It's mad.
And actually, it's a real skill. I can do it. I've learned how to do it, and I love doing it, right? And it's basically actually shutting down, doing nothing, your own time, digital, shut down the digital noise and do nothing for 3 or 4 hours. People have forgotten how to do that, but it's really important.
Mm-hmm. Oren, it's been a real pleasure. Thank you for your wisdom, for your time. And Bezat Hashem, we wish you a lot of success in the future. Amen v'amen. Thank you for doing it.
Thank you.